Welcome, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the first ever Ruswin webinar. My name's Kevin Buckby and I'm the General Manager. And this first webinar that we're doing will be with our one of our long-time suppliers, which is Avigilon. So Avigilon have been a huge supporter of Papua New Guinea. They normally come every 3 months and they come and visit all of our clients and go through what is the latest in CCTV. Unfortunately, with COVID, that hasn't been able to happen. So for our way to be able to address the market and what new things we thought that we would do this webinar and roll through with what they have that's out that's interesting to the PNG market. I'd like to welcome Philip Brewer, who is from Avigilon, and he will be here to answer questions towards the end of this webinar. But I'd like to just ask you to sit back and relax, and we will go through Motorola and Avigilon and what they have coming up currently and in the future for CCTV solutions. So the Avigilon mission statement. This truly wouldn't be my mission statement. If I was to do a mission statement on Avigilon, it would simply be, with our research and development, we are committed to making CCTV no longer be a forensic tool, but to be a tool used by all businesses to ensure that theft and shrinkage is minimised and to ensure the safety of resources and of staff. Avigilon is at the forefront of design and instigation of artificial intelligence within CCTV systems. They have most of the patents that are out, and they do a lot of work in ensuring that they have the latest equipment to go to the market. So what helps Avigilon to eliminate shrinkage and theft is the fact that they understand that guards have multiple screens to watch. They have a lot of things that they need to be doing, and so they've created a CCTV system which is, I guess, user-friendly. And if we're going to talk from a Papua New Guinean point of view, we have guards who don't necessarily have a lot of PC skills. The Avigilon system is designed exactly for them. So if you have a look on your screen now, which I'm sharing, you'll see that the CCTV system here has defined the difference between a truck, between a car. It'll actually break that down and go even further. And that's the brilliance of this solution, because it actually has the ability to be able to self-learn and to be able to aid the guards in what it is that they do. So it will look at an environment, and within a 2-week period, it will know that environment, know things that are different, know things that have changed, and notify the guards on that, which is really what we need to do, because when we have things that are unusual, that's normally when we have an event happen.
Imagine never having to stare at walls of video to try and catch security events. The potential threats were simply brought to your attention. When you're faced with hundreds of video feeds at a time, it can be extremely difficult to catch the most important information. But what if you had a security guard who never sleeps, never takes a break, and is never distracted? Avigilon Control Center 7 is a video management software that's changing the nature of video security by helping take care of the detection aspect of security, so you can focus on taking action. Our customers love ACC because it's easy to use. It's built on an open platform and integrates seamlessly with our access control system. We are constantly innovating to add new AI-powered features that allow customers to proactively monitor and secure their sites. One of the newest benefits we added to ACC 7 is our focus of attention interface, which uses AI to highlight different types of security events with simple color codes. Motion-related events are highlighted in blue, defined analytic events in teal, and alarms in red, making it easy for you to see what's happening and where. We want our customers to find information faster because we know that makes their job easier by helping them prevent bad outcomes. In ACC7, our cameras can detect over 50 objects from various categories. This means the system will tell you when objects like a person, car, truck, or motorcycle are spotted, allowing you to take the action that's needed. But the new capabilities of ACC7 don't end there. It's important for different security technologies to work together because it allows you to do more with what you have. ACC7 is built on an open platform, which means it works with any ONVIF compliant camera, allowing you to upgrade your system while still keeping your existing investments. It also works with Motorola Solutions, Command Central Aware, and LMS softwares to provide one source of information to first responders, helping you do more with your security solution. Even with its advanced capabilities, ACC7 keeps technology simple. We've made it incredibly easy to use so that you aren't spending time trying to navigate a confusing system, and you can focus on what really matters. ACC7, video security software that can do more.
For me, the real solution in that is that that when the alarms come up, they're color-coded, the guards see them. But not only in that situation can we have it so that it pops up on the screen, but we can also put to that a siren, a strobe. We can put in place what's required to make sure the guard is motivated to action what they see. We've had a lot of success with that in P&G, and it's really helped us to create more action. And if I'm going to take one environment with Peninsula Apartments, they have the Avigilon system and they use a virtual video wall, if you will like, upon their seawall. So when a banana boat comes up, the guards are automatically alarmed, a siren and strobe goes off all through the Avigilon video management system. And then the guard is there waiting as the banana boat pulls up onto the seawall. They had two initial immediate breaches, and from that, the rascals now know that when they come to that seawall, guards will be there. They don't go to Peninsula anymore, they go to the neighbouring apartment blocks. And that's really what this system is about. It's about trying to aid the guards to make the right decisions. So they've only got two sets of eyes. They're looking at, in that case, 70 or 80 odd cameras. The Avigilon system details down what they need to be actioning and lets them know where to go to do it. So for me, that's one of the major benefits of this system. Appearance search, it's been part of the Avigilon platform for quite some time. And the reason why I'm doing this presentation rather than Avigilon is so that I can put a P&G spin on to what we do. To be honest with you, the appearance search has never been great. So, the airports aren't that busy that they need to track one person and they need to use the cameras to do so. But what is important about appearance search is that it is the original basis that was put into the Avigilon software to enable to use pixels to identify face, and then to be able to look throughout all of the cameras in the platform to be able to see where that person has been, where they're going, and what they've done. If we then spin that out further, it gives us the ability, or our clients the ability, to actually go further and to create a watch list. Some of the mining companies would like this. They can take people from the known areas who have issues and have them entered into their CCTV system, so that when they come to the gates, they're immediately recognised as somebody who has been anti that particular mine area. So it gives you the ability to be able to pick up people of interest and actually have them stored in your system and be aware when they come on site, rather than again using it as a tool to find out after they've been on site and created issues for you. Same applies with number plate recognition. PNG ports actually now have number plate recognition through Avigilon, and so they have a blacklist. These are the vehicles that have been stolen. So they are entered into their system, and because of the Avigilon software, guards don't need to flick and look through a list to check. It's automatically done by the CCTV system that says that is one of your license plates that's on the watch list. So look, it's great software, and again, it's designed to make guarding easier.
I'm going to show you how to create a face watch list. We're going to go into site setup, the top level of the tree, and you'll notice that there is a face watch list button in ACC setup on the site level. If I click on that, I'll get my watch list to load. I'm currently going to be working on this appearance watch list for Vancouver, and I have my profile saved. Currently, I'm going to add to that, and I'm going to bring in an image of two different people. We'll take Jared Swanson, and then we will also take Katrina Ma and add them onto our list. So these are now on my watch list. You can see that these are the faces that we'll use for when we are doing our face matching in focus of attention. If I save this watch list, I'm going to run into my focus of attention interface, and then we're going to see if we're going to start to get some watch list matches, which will then show up in our ribbon over to the left. You'll notice in the focus of attention interface on the ribbon to the left, you'll start to see people's face matching fill into the ribbon as they go through and are detected by the camera. So there's Jared. We got a couple of good picks from him. We are getting unusual motion detection from the Plano site that we're seeing as well. So the focus of attention interface is kind of giving us all of the relevant data that we're looking for in this application. You'll notice that we have our face match list shown here. We have our elevator lobby, and we'll start to see faces popping in as people walk through on our particular camera. What'll happen, we'll get the match as it shows here. You'll see that you have the orange or yellow hexagon light up, and Jared will be on there. There's Katrina. We can go live directly to that event, see what's going on, or we can go to the replay and see what caused that trigger to come up. I'm going to show how to add somebody to a face watch list through an appearance search. So I'm going to go ahead and look for appearances of this gentleman, and there's a good start result. I am going to see that I have a add to watch list icon over that result. If I click on that, it's going to go ahead and take that image chip. I'm going to call this a known perp. I want to find out where he's at. Click OK. And now I can add it. He's added into my watch list. Now, if I go in and I take a look at site setup, top level, look at my face watch list, that known perp has been added. Now, that's something I can go ahead and search against through the rest of my appearance search, but now that person will pop up on my focus of attention interface as well.
So for those of you who have seen previous presentations done by Avigilon, you will know that it's not just a face that can be added. So in their software is recognition for guns, so they can detect when somebody has a gun. We have set a system up for billum detection. So if somebody has a billum and was meant to be left, but it's been brought through, then it will alarm the guards that that person has a billum. And so we're talking about the ability to watch faces, but we have that ability to learn the system to watch within reason what it is that we would like it to watch as well. And that is another huge benefit with the Avigilon system, and with the cameras themselves having the smarts to be able to look for what it is that you'd like them to look for. License plate recognition, I mentioned PNG ports. There is through the PNG Royal Constabulary a list of licenses for vehicles that have been stolen. That list is updated, unfortunately, daily, and it is passed out to those people who require it, for instance, banks. And so the ability is there for, if we look at, we take BSP, for example, at Barocca, where they have a car park and an entry area into where their banking facility is, it gives the ability for the camera to be able to look, recognise a license plate number, and warn the guards straight off. You know, it's when you think about it, it's much better to know somebody is possibly going to come out of a car with a gun than to actually have somebody already come out of the car with a gun. It's a huge feature. And again, it goes back to what I believe Avigilon's real statement is, which is that they are trying to create a mechanism where we catch people at the time rather than use CCTV as a forensic device further on. And I mentioned before that the system has the ability to learn an environment. So within our boardroom, the room that I'm sitting in, we actually use our system to demonstrate. And so most of the time, our boardroom sits empty. However, when we have somebody in it, it recognises that that's an unusual event and it sends a warning out to us. Rather simple, but what we can actually do, we also have downstairs a whole lot of environments which we have completely locked up. Some of them have, you know, televisions in and high-end CCTV systems. So we have our Avigilon cameras looking down onto our padlocks, and we actually have them so that they are looking for any unusual motion within those areas. So when somebody comes in with a hand, sticks their hand in with the key, we are automatically alarmed that somebody is opening up our storage areas. We have the ability to watch what they're doing and to be able to ensure that we are not having shrinking issues. This is one of those very key items, and it takes away from the guarding mechanism. You know, do I need to be looking at that? Is that an issue? Because the system then directs us and tells us that it is, and we need to be watching. So unusual motion detection is the ability for a camera to learn an environment, and then from what it's learned to make its own decision when something is outside of what it believes to be its standard scope.
This clip's going to talk about unusual activity detection. You'll notice that we have this checkbox in this clip that shows how we can filter unusual activity detection. When it's not checked, you'll see that we have a red line down on our timeline, which tells us this is just recorded video. When we turn on unusual activity, we start to filter that, and then the unusual activity is what shows in red. This particular clip, if we went to do the different anomaly types that we have for unusual activity, which would be direction, speed, and location, we find that the only thing we really have here is location-based, right? And we can skip through to where the area is where there's not normally somebody in this scene. So the idea here being that the person on this ladder, this is in an unusual location, which then triggered the unusual activity detection for an event of that type. And now you see it's even worse as she steps up on the ladder, and that's not a safe way to use that ladder. So that's the use case behind unusual activity detection.
They have environments where the cameras are now being used to detect staff being in unusual positions. So where we have a staff member normally that we don't, we get an alarm. Where we have motion in an area that we don't, we have an alarm. So the systems, again, are not now just necessarily being used as having a look for theft and having a look for shrinkage, but we can now use a CCTV camera to detect operations which are outside of our normal. As an example, in the States, there are businesses that now use Avigilon cameras to actually detect the manufacturer of their product, because it will detect if there is a difference in the manufacturing of their product, because it's learnt the environment and it's learnt what's needed, what is the normal, and it will react on what's not. So we've moved away from just a system that we go to look at a recording once something's happened. As a matter of fact, in this particular video, we've looked at a recording. However, in real life, that would have alarmed us that she was up there. It would have alarmed us that there was an opportunity that an accident could occur. And again, going back to what I believe Avigilon's mission statement is, it's more about being proactive in all environments rather than being reactive and just looking at it as a forensic tool. And so if that's the platform for Avigilon, and then of course, you know, we've had COVID, then what is Avigilon's response to COVID? They have put mechanisms within their video management system which gives you the ability to be able to be much wiser within COVID. And we'll start off with occupancy counting.
As cities and states nationwide move into different COVID-19 phases, businesses are looking for an easy and efficient way to manage customer entries and exits. Motorola Solutions occupancy counting technology can help. Together, Avigilon cameras and Avigilon Control Center video management software leverage AI-powered analytics to detect and track when a person enters or exits your facility. Dashboards make it easy to monitor and display traffic in and out on any web-enabled device. Customers can self-police occupancy with tablets installed in entryways that display maximum capacity, current occupancy, and how many may enter, or if they need to wait for others to exit before they can proceed. And powerful cloud-based reporting capabilities in Avigilon Cloud Services provide insights on hotspots, peak periods, and high traffic points, so you can take action. Make sure your facility is adhering to social distancing and occupancy guidelines with streamlined monitoring and automated tracking, so you can stay focused on your business.
Reminds me of at the height of COVID last year, going through NASDAQ airport, and the guards were trying to keep people out of the airport. The queue was, I'm going to say, 100, 150 meters long. And it just would have been so much simpler if there was something which was counting and which notified people how many people were in the airport, what we were doing. It just would have been a much more user-friendly and a more patient way of managing the airport's customers, rather than a confused lot of guards who really didn't know what was going on themselves. So there's the ability for the system to be able to notify people whether they can go in or out, how many people can be in there. But it also goes further, and I find this one interesting. So again, just a simple camera or just a simple video management system. So rather than having one guard standing at the front, ensuring that everybody puts their mask on, everybody walks past the guard and takes their mask off. This is a system that will notify, and for HR and some of the larger firms to be able to go, hey, look, sorry about that, but we note you weren't wearing your mask, please step up. You know, it's quite a good add-on to the original feature or the original benefit of your CCTV system, which is to eliminate shrinkage and to guard over your assets. Well, now we're actually using it as a COVID tool to ensure that we are practicing COVID safe policies. So the mask will clearly, or the CCTV system will clearly define between those who are and are not masked. And I haven't gone into a lot of the reporting mechanisms, but there is reporting mechanisms in there which will then give you the ability to be able to monitor your sites and your staff and to give you an idea of how you are adhering to your COVID policies and procedures. I'm really disappointed that Avigilon haven't been up. And you know, we were talking with the Avigilon team going, well, you'll be up soon. Well, you'll be up soon. At the end of the day, we don't know how long they're going to be up. We don't know how long COVID is going to be part of our new normal, but we do know that there are some smart solutions in there which can tag on to your Avigilon CCTV system.
As businesses reopen, they need efficient and unobtrusive ways to screen customers for symptoms. Avigilon's H4 thermal elevated temperature detection solution can help simplify this process. Avigilon thermal cameras and Avigilon Control Center video management software leverage video analytics to enable high throughput, contactless pre-screening of people to detect and notify operators of elevated skin temperatures for a complete end-to-end workflow. Increase customer confidence by ensuring you have the right technology in place to protect your facility and your people.
Again, this is just one camera which sits off that Avigilon management system and gives you reports, will send through information, will aid you in the management of your staff and your clients throughout COVID. I know we're very fortunate that we don't have the strict regulations and the tracking and all the issues that there is currently overseas. And I guess with the costs that businesses have here in PNG, we're very thankful of not having that additional cost. However, it does give you peace of mind to know that you have a camera at your entry area and is aiding you where it is feeding information back to you immediately on whether you have people coming in who are at high risk, rather than leaving it to a guard, hoping that the batteries are in the handheld device, hoping that it's not a one-tock. This is a system that will not fail and will be there every time. Now, social distancing, again, this is not really an issue for us because you know, I've been in country for 12 years and I would really like to think of myself as Papua New Guinean. We don't social distance. You know, we're happy to be with our family, and so our friends, and social distancing isn't part of our world. But what it does show you is more the intelligence behind the Avigilon systems, and that once you get an Avigilon server, all of these additional things are part of an upgrade or part of a new camera that comes out. So whatever is planned ahead and whatever the future lies, your Avigilon system has the ability to be able to grow and adapt with that. Now, for me, the unusual detection would have picked up that that giraffe straight off, because I can't see that a giraffe being there could be normal at all, but apparently it's not picking it up, so we will just move on. So the systems have the ability to grow and to learn. They will point out, as this clearly depicts, areas where you have traffic paths that will create a social distancing violation. These are just some of the enhancements or the strengths behind an Avigilon CCTV system. I will also point out that Avigilon has high-level interfaces with just about any access control system. So, for instance, Avigilon and Gallagher. And Gallagher is one of P&G's favoured access control brands. Well, Avigilon works seamlessly with it. So, for instance, if somebody should hold a door open for too long, the Avigilon system, the Gallagher will warn it. The Avigilon system will then grab the video and send it live up onto the screen for the guards to look at, again with the button to be able to play a recording so that the guards can see. NAC, you know, are huge with Gallagher, and the ability now to be able to use a interface that's going to work and to be able to detect the guards and let them know when issues are going to happen. Because Avigilon is part of the Motorola suite. And I will point out too that if we have Motorola two ways, that the Avigilon CCTV system can give your people notices on your Motorola two-way that there has been an alarm as well. So for a guarding situation where you normally have guards with two ways, you have the ability for that to be able to connect. But we also have body-worn cameras. Motorola are one of the world's largest providers of body-worn cameras to police. And we have that top-end solution, but we also have lower-end solutions for people who are on the front counter, people who are in points of duress. And again, as I mentioned, this all fits back into that whole Motorola solution where we have a CCTV system, we have an access control system, we have guards, we have a two-way radio system, and we have complete comms between all of them, feeding information to everybody involved, so that if we have a guard out somewhere and we have a breach, they are immediately notified on their two-way of the breach and what's happened by the alarm mechanisms within the Motorola solution. So it truly is a one overarching platform which does everything. So it's just a solution which uses its analytics to be able to give you, the end user, the best result using all of your communication platforms, and even if need be, to notify police immediately of your requirements, to be able to use police resources, as in police license plate files. In some cases, with some of the banks, they can actually access those people who have been involved in robberies, and they have a blacklist, if you like, of people, and their system alarms them as it's happening or as they come onto the premises. So those are some of the solutions and the benefits that Motorola has, and they are constantly, their R&D is a huge department, and they are constantly looking at improvements and how to grow their solutions and to improve their CCTV. Avigilon in itself is a Canadian company which operates within the US, has manufacturing in the US and manufacturing in Canada. So their warranties are quite large, but we don't even talk about their warranties, and we do recommend warranties and extended warranties on their servers and recording devices, but on their cameras, I think we've been a Motorola deal, an Avigilon dealer for 7 odd years, and I think we've had one camera with an issue. Their quality and the way in which they manufacture and go to market is pretty impressive. So we are clearly huge Avigilon supporters, and we just don't have any problems. They suit the Papua New Guinean marketplace, as in we have remote environments, we have environments where we have a lot of sea breeze, where we have a lot of environments which are just quite frankly not friendly for this type of product, but it still doesn't let us down. So those are the reasons why we're here talking to you about Avigilon. They do a very, very good product. But for me also, it's a product where we don't have any problems throughout the life of the period because there are no recurring licensing fees. There is no cost for their software upgrades other than to have our technicians come out and do it. It is a very, very cheap, it is a very low cost product. It certainly isn't cheap. It's a quality product, but it's low cost in its ownership. There are no hidden yearly license costs as there are with just about all other CCTV manufacturers. So it's a very, very good video platform. It works well in our marketplace. It is always improving. They are always working to have the next solution, and I'd also say that they're a very, very good business that supports Papua New Guinea and continually sends people here to help deliver a better product into this marketplace. So, on behalf of Ruswin, I'd like to thank you for your time. And if you have any questions now, I would like to open the floor up and happy for you to ask any questions that you have of Philip Brewer. And Philip, please say hello to our Papua New Guinean audience.
G'day everyone, hello, I hope you're well, and looking forward to getting back to PNG once the borders open. So thanks for the presentation there, Kevin.
You're welcome. Now we have a question, or we have something in our chats. Do we need to go and have a look at that? No, we don't. If you have any questions, happy to hear from them now. If not, we have recorded this this video, and you all also have my email and Julius's email. We're happy to field any other questions that you may have at a later date. But our major goal was just to try and give you a better understanding of Avigilon, of the benefits of the system. And there you go. And thank you for your participation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. We will leave it at that, and we'll be back to you in a couple of weeks. The next one on this we're doing will be on Samsung digital signage. Have a lovely afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, everyone.